I put the wrong video on. I put the outro for the intro.
Yeah, I was going to say. I'll just start my fucking sleeve in green paint.
We got to a great start. Ken's got covered in paint, and I used the wrong introduction. Welcome to Monday night. What could possibly go right from here on in? I thought it was quite short. Oh my God. I'm going to blame my lack of caffeine today. I've been so busy, I've had hardly any coffee. Anyway, hello, everybody. It's Monday night. Welcome to episode 3, series 4 of the Plastic Crack podcast. Massive thank you to everyone that's watching on the catch-up.
Straight in there.
Straight in there. I'm even gonna do my YouTube thing now. And if you like the stream, don't forget to whack that like button. It helps with the algorithm. And I'm all over it tonight, aren't I? I may have noused up the intro, but
you've got a lot to make up. You got a lot to make up for now.
Yeah, you're pulling back a bit of the professionalism, but yeah,
I know.
There's some newbies in the chat tonight as well. There's newbies.
Oh right, I shall get to those in a second. So as always, we have up there Martin Seventh Son.
Hello.
Over there, Ken from Miniature Wargaming Warriors, and over there, Mr. Obscure Project Period himself, Dom from Boots on the Table. Yes.
I'm not going to lie. He's right.
No, an uncanny knack of uncovering the most niche, bizarre, barely heard of conflicts in military history. But before we get to have a look to see who's in the chat, we hit 900 members on the Facebook group. Hey. And I found out today that 900 is the official sort of time period for the Dark Ages, 900 years.
Okay.
I think that's right.
900 years long or in 900 AD?
No, 900 years. 900 years long.
Oh dear. No,
the internet lied to me. How dare?
Well, if the Dark Ages begins when the Romans end, which is say 450 or whatever, 480, that means that then the Dark Ages would end at sort of like around about the Wars of the Roses. Is this a what's the word? Archaeological? No, what's the word I'm looking for?
Post-medieval, Ken. It's post-medieval.
No. Is this an opinion of yours? Is there an actual factual time? Is there mine?
I stole that. I stole that now clearly wrong fact off the internet. Like I said, the internet lied to me. How
is it my opinion that the Dark Ages ended after the medieval period started?
Oh, this stream is starting so well.
No. I'm just asking. Is it your profession? I'm just saying. Is that sort of date open to debate between historians when the Dark Ages starts and ends? That's what I'm asking.
Well, if you want to be technical about it, it's not even really a term. It's not a proper term to use to describe that term. But
Alex would disagree. It's an outdated term.
Yeah, it's just not really used. No, is it an opinion? No, I don't really know another way to answer that.
I seem to have opened some sort of
wind up jar.
It's not really a wind up jar. You asked me if it's an opinion.
Yeah, I'm only asking. I was just asking. I was just interested in a bit of history.
Let's have a look who's
I thought you were going to say, tell you what, shall we start the stream again? With the proper
Let's start blank. Let's do over. Let's do a do over.
No, so Don is here. Hello, Don, Baker City. John Masters. Oh, very good one. Looking forward to his first live stream. Brilliant. Cheers, John.
Oh, welcome, John.
It's down.
Carl Birch, Red Steph, Barnes White, Laser Pirate Painting, Pat Neal, Gary Phillips, Crossing Obstacle Gaming. Mort Cirques, Jones is here, Mobile and Hostile, Ham and Jam, Nigel Jones, Brushworks, Mark Forsyth. It's an interesting question. Does anyone know if the Warlord epic scale models work with General Darmay? I'm pretty sure they would, wouldn't they?
They do. Will do. Yeah, no problem.
100%.
What I would suggest you do though is snap the lines in half though.
I thought you were going to say play a different game.
But just snap them in half and chuck them in the Darmay.
That's what I thought he was going to say.
I thought that's what he was going to say. I don't know why. I don't have anything against it. I just thought that's what he was going to say.
No, it's a game.
No, I just think that the epic figures in that great long line are just too long, really, for any system. To be honest, I think just cut them in half.
You mean because
they were
basically, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to go down that one, are we already?
Ian Wright's here, Steve Harbour, Louis Baby, Benjamin Christian. Benjamin, one of your pictures coming up later. All I can say is you are officially mad.
Madman.
Yeah, just mad. It's the only way to describe yourself, Benjamin.
Completely insane.
Oh my word. Who else is there? So John, Dan here. Hello from sunny and currently very windy Los Angeles. I thought Dan, I thought Los Angeles just had heat and sun. I didn't think they had wind or other types of weather.
You've never seen Battle for Los Angeles? They got alien invasion, have they?
No, I've never seen that.
You have to watch that on Friday now.
I don't think it's a news program, Ken.
I'm not.
What?
That's your Friday. What? That's your Friday film.
What is?
Battle for Los Angeles. You seen that? Yeah.
It's also an album by Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, that is an album by Rage.
Yeah, it is.
Is that what he's talking about?
No, he's talking about the film.
It's a film.
Film? What? By Rage Against the Machine?
No, the science fiction film.
What is going on?
I've got no idea. This is okay. Cornish Crusades here. So is Rich, John City, Shakeovers and Sprues. Hello, James. See, James was rocking the Vimto and the weird IPAs last weekend. Rocking it with the Juice Foresight. War Games Hobby Basement. I've never seen. Actually, what Ken? I've only ever heard of it.
But look directly above it. Look at the comment directly above it. So 50-50. 50-50 split.
I'm with Steve. So
I'm glad.
If you haven't seen,
I'm glad there's a consensus here.
It's like it's sci-fi. You quite like it. It's I think you quite enjoy it. To be fair, yeah, I thought it was all right.
Yeah,
you know, sure.
It's not going to win any Oscars, that's for sure.
Yeah, but it's a good. I reckon it's a good. It's one of your Friday night films. That's what
I'll consult Rotten Tomatoes later, see what they make of it.
How did you not seen that? I would have thought you'd have watched that.
There's tons of films. I've never seen Top Gun. Never seen Lost Boys.
Even I've seen Top Gun.
No, I haven't seen
Lost
Top
Boys. You haven't seen Lost Boys?
No, I haven't seen Lost Boys. I never even heard of that. But
there's loads of films. I don't like the Back to the Future films.
What?
Whoa! Even I've watched those.
Can we kick the host off the channel?
No, you can't. It's my stream. Anyway, War Games Hobbies here. Friends General Haig. Hello, Andy. Alex, Don't Steal Wargaming, who has inspired my latest purchase. Oh, I'm looking forward to playing that. I really, really am.
If anyone's going to have a flux capacitor, I'd have thought Steve would have had one.
The damn thing is, in my living room, I've actually got a Back to the Future DeLorean.
Oh, you need to chuck that out the window.
In front. And I like the model. I just don't enjoy the films. I really just don't enjoy the films. Wilco Mewett, Nathan McGowan, Nick Games, Andrew JF, John Carter, Paul's Paint Shed. Hello, Paul. Robin's here. Robin apologized to me for having 900 members and having to drink that Glide beer on Friday night. It's really nice, that, actually. Quite tart, I'll put it that way. Rich M. Joseph Kananovich from North Carolina. Hello.
Hello.
This is your first time viewing live. I don't think we've seen you before, mate. Welcome to the live stream. Andy Shaw. Andy, I think he visited Warlord Games and Games Workshop today.
Yeah, he did.
Yes,
I saw
it. I saw the line. Yes.
Drew's here. Drew, Tenement Tabletop. What else we got? Scale Modeling. Hello.
Drew.
Oh yeah, big, massive congratulations to Drew on his new arrival.
Yes, congratulations,
That's
mate.
We don't mean more Zulus and Redcoats. He and his partner had a nice baby, so there we go. Scale Modeling. So nice. Hello, Corey.
Nice. They cry.
Roger Chrysler from Ontario. Mag, we're certainly pulling in from all around the world tonight. North Carolina, Ontario.
Really?
Yeah, Frank's Miniatures.
Yeah. We're just
Paul
waiting
Crouch.
for the Australians to join in an hour because they normally join at about 9 o'clock, don't they?
CC Audi from Colorado.
Well, we've got a lot of our American cousins there.
GC Murray.
Hang on, they just should all be at work. It's not a public holiday. What's going on?
Yeah.
Miller's here. Hello, Miller. How you doing, mate? Battle Matt, who's been tempting me to get involved in BattleTech. And he's been posting and talking about BattleTech, and it's taken me all my willpower not to get involved. Leslie's here. 9999 Pardon, Gary Clark, Shrink 7, Duncan Barker, etc. Man, Ken's here. Hello, Ken.
Hello, Ken.
God, I'm Rob Jones. I think that's it. Scrolling down right to the bottom. Are we there? Right.
You done it, mate.
I think we're done. Oh, in Tennessee. My God, this is like a proper we are now an international podcast.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Don't forget, if you are outside of the not so sunny and really cold United Kingdom at the moment, we've got a map on the Facebook group. If you remember the Facebook group, pop down on there where you're from.
Oh, we have, haven't we?
We're populating it quite a lot, and we've got people from all over the place. Right.
We have someone that was actually from Greenland that one time. Or
yeah,
he watched in Greenland, didn't he?
Yeah.
I don't think they actually were from there. I think they were just working there.
Yeah, they're working in Greenland. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that counts. We'll have that.
Yeah, it counts. It counts.
Yeah, my mate spent months there when he was doing his degree in geology, and he spent a couple of months in Greenland.
We'll find someone one day who'll be on like a North Pole expedition or something.
One of my channel
Ken?
members is on a boat, and every time he comments, he was going through the Panama Canal. And the next time he commented, he was like near Italy. And then the next time he commented, he was in the Atlantic.
If anyone's going through like by the icebergs, to take a picture of our podcast playing like a selfie thing with him or her. That would
should have that as a thing, shouldn't we?
Yeah, that should be a thing. The weirdest
place we can see.
Yeah, the best place you can. Oh, that
is
a challenge.
If you can get a picture of, if you get a little miniature of Cromwell and pop him on an iceberg.
Yeah, or the seven wonders of the world. We wonder if we can get to all seven. That would be cool.
And just remember, mountaineers, if you're thinking of scaling Everest this year, you don't need all that protective gear. Get yourself a PCP hoodie. That'll do just as well.
Guaranteed, I think.
And I take no responsibility for any ice or cold related incidents you may have on the north side. Yeah, they might be dead.
Yeah, we haven't got to worry about any comeback.
My God, it's taken a weird turn tonight. Really.
No.
Yes.
That would be fucking awesome.
Oh, please, Jonas, please make that.
Please.
Make that happen.
Would that mean we've been on every continent? Asia, Australia.
Yes,
I think it would. Yeah, I think it would.
That'd be all the.
I thought you were about to name all the continents then. I was just going to wait to see.
See how far you got.
Through my head.
Yeah.
I'm just going.
No, that would be, if you can, Jonas, if you make that happen,
that would be fucking insane.
Yeah, don't.
That is a crack on t-shirt.
And you might be quite cold if you just wear that in Antarctica, though. Anyway, so on to that's everyone. Oh, wait, there we got start line wargaming. Catching 10 minutes while on my lunch evening. Everyone, have a good lunch. So yes, tonight, episode 3, we're talking about later on anyway, solo wargaming, because we've all done it, and there's loads of YouTube channels out there dedicated to solo wargaming. So I thought, let's a bit of a chat, tips, advice. How do you go about your solo wargaming? So we'll be getting onto that later. But until we get to then, what have we all been up to? Ken, what have you been up to?
Oh, right. So yeah, just quickly, Martin's just realised he's been left at home alone with the children, just completely forgot about him. So you better go and check on him.
They're going to feed them again. Is that what it was?
Yeah, he's like, shit.
Yeah,
I knew I'd forgotten something. Robin's in the bar still. Something I would do. That is something I would do so badly. Oh shit! My dad. I am going to divert. My dad genuinely left me on the beach in Blackpool for an hour and a half in a buggy. They were on holiday with my family. This is when I was about 2, and he went back, and some old ladies just sat with me. Oh, I did think you'd come back for him, she said. I was something like that. And my mum went.
Ken, having known you for about 5 years, I think I'd leave you on the beach too.
I walked back in at the wrong moment. What I heard was something about
Ken
Ken
was abandoned on Blackpool Beach.
I was abandoned on Blackpool Beach for an hour and a half. My whole family left me there in a buggy.
He was 21 at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Or a stroller if you're American. Yes.
So what's going to happen in your stag do?
I was just about to say.
I just don't even want to think about that. I don't even want to think about that.
We'll be recreating memories for you there, Ken. Yeah. So what were you going to do hobby-wise?
So if you're a member of the Facebook group, and if you're not, you should be. Why not? We need to get to 1,000. Oh, nice cup, Steve. You would have seen a video I put up. It was 4 minutes long this week. So I was in the fiddle yard this week.
It's the most video content you've put up in a year.
I knew you were going to say that. I was waiting for it.
It's very true.
So yeah, if you want to see a video, yeah, go on there. So I was in the fiddle yard, and controversial. There's going to be a second fiddle yard. So there's going to be two fiddle yards. One either end of the house. I'm going to have two fiddle yards, one either end.
Ken, with you now having that sort of a dual creative hobbies,
it's hard.
How do you? I was going to say how do you differ? How do you split up your focus? Is it 50-50 or is it?
No, it depends what mood I'm in. It's probably about.
I was going to say, is it just what mood? Yeah,
it's 80-20 in a minute with the trains because it's all exciting. It didn't help though. The other day, the house behind me, as you guys know, kind of burnt to the ground. And it started. It started in the loft apparently. So I was like, okay. I better get a fire extinguisher. So I did. I bought a fire extinguisher because you can't be too careful, to be fair, with electrics. And lots of wood. It's not great. So yeah, I did that. I did my usual thing of scrounging this week. So I was walking at work today. And I went past the building site, and I need Celotex insulation foam for like carving all the terrain. So I just walked on the building site and went, "Hello, mate. All right, I'm really sad, and I've got a train set. Can I have all that Celotex that's sitting in the corner that you're going to chuck away?" "Yeah, sure, mate." Save myself about
back away from you.
They looked at me rather weird. He goes, "What are you using it for? Loft conversion or something?" I went, "No, train set."
And they still gave it to you.
And they still gave it to me. And
because they haven't had to, because they normally have to pay to get rid of it, and then he's just come along.
I've come along and gone, "Can I have all your Celotex, mate?" So to be fair, I thought about it. I did think about it, and I thought, if it's that easy to get like offcuts of Celotex,
I know where this is going.
So when I go to redo my shed, because I don't need it to be perfectly like thingy, because I'm going to cut it up anyway. I just go around all like building sites and just ask for a load of Celotex. That way, I ain't got to pay for it, have I?
No, it will smell of builder's piss. But and you know, and
on the wall,
like that.
It'll improve the smell in the fiddle yard, though.
I would, yeah, but no, I'm too honest about Matt. I'm too honest. I told him the truth. He was well excited though. He was like, "Oh wow, what sort of train set is it?" As either taking the piss proper thing, or he was genuinely interested. I think he was actually genuinely interested. So yeah. But yeah, the problem is if I said it's up for a loft conversion, he might go, "Yeah, it's 20 quid, mate." And then if I said it's to the train set, he might have felt sorry. He probably thought I was a single man.
It was scary.
Yeah, a nutter. I was in my work uniform as well, which is even funnier. So I was wearing a Virgin high vis, which is even funnier.
Well, you worked for O2?
BMO2. Same thing. What? Same thing. It's the same company. It's the same company. But yeah, no, it's quite interesting. Let's put it that way. It was funny. But I was on my lunch break, so there you go. That's fine.
Just in case any bosses are listening in.
Yes.
I have no words.
I have quite a few, but probably shouldn't use them at the moment.
I'm going to assume the builders probably did as well, because having worked alongside builders now for 18, 19 years, I'm amazed at how incredibly descriptive they can be.
Yeah.
So, Martin, have you been on the scrounge, or you've actually been doing some hobby?
No, I haven't been. I haven't been on the scrounge. So I didn't get as much done this week as last week. In fact, I haven't finished anything. I'm gluing things to bases at the moment. So I'm going to try very, very hard. If it's okay, I'm going to try. There we go. How the hell do you do this now? I've forgotten what to do.
Sharing
sharing anything. I'm going to make myself bigger. There we go. I'm basing up my Byzantine, however you want to pronounce it.
Xantine.
Yeah, I don't know. I keep on. I say
You're changing it, don't you?
I say Byzantine,
Byzantine,
and then I was listening to something earlier, which was Byzantine, and then I just kind of decided it was one of those interchangeable ones. So no, I'm just sorting out multi-bases of these at the moment, simply because I've made a big unit, but for various reasons, I couldn't get it finished before tonight, mainly because I had to go and dig a really, really boring site in a town that I don't like. While all of my the people that I work with went and played on our lovely site with loads of Saxon archaeology. So that was was upsetting. So other than that, no, I didn't actually get a great deal done. I was still a little bit unwell and I just had a week's worth of sort of appointments and things. So I'm hoping to get a bit more gaming done this week. That's it. I'm sorry, it was a really boring one.
What about scrounging? Are you going to be on the scrounge? You're going to be scrounging stuff from strangers? Or?
I don't really scrounge things because of my job. I get all my basing materials from the source. I just dig. If I got a sand site, I just get a shovelful and put it in there. And then when I get home, I sieve it and take out
all the shit.
Yeah, I do. That's where I get all my So I've got different bags of different grades of. So that's out of a 5 mil sieve. And then I've got a 2 mil sieve, and I got all the different grades of sand. Moss, I get loads of moss for all the, where I just stick on all the weeds and stuff onto the. I dry it out and put that on there. So I tend to get a few things off site. Once or twice, there may be some. So our pottery specialist at work, right? When he examines, or any pottery specialist in archaeology, the first thing they do, because they're heathens, is snap the pottery in half to look at how it's formed and what the makeup of it is. And they like to get it and sort of crush up little bits of it. This creates a lot of dust. So what I've got the guy to do at work is he does this onto a piece of paper and he tips it into a bag for me every now and then. So
I've got these bags. Dust for your ancient.
I've got these mixes of medieval pottery. Yeah, it's just crushed up brick dust. It's just basically brick dust, but it's all just crushed up and very ancient.
It's organic.
So I use it on my boards, but no. So they're the only things that I scrounge.
Insane.
That is bizarre. I've never heard of that.
That is quite.
I'll give you a bag. Along with the snow.
I'll get some weird brick dust in the post. I think
that reminds me. There's a parcel. That does remind me. There is a parcel on the way to you, as we speak, because the thing that you got me to do, I had a bit of trouble with. So it's on its way to you now.
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you.
So Dom, good. A good segue to Dom. Dom, what have you been up to?
You said that with such. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. What did I do? I mainly lots of bowmen and light today. So this is the second unit of bowmen that are going to be part of that Scottish division or Scottish battle for my War of the Roses faction. So I've done 2 pike, 2 bow. At some point, I'll do some light cavalry. So that's the bowmen. Get ready to drink, everybody. They're all 3D prints, those. Medbury miniatures.
You got to admit, 3D prints are cropping up a lot more.
They don't look 3D printed at all, do they? I honestly thought they were metals.
I didn't think they were 3D printed. That's very good.
No, they are. They're really nice figures. I have to say, I've just got hollowed more for the new project. So,
and the new project. He drinks every time he says that.
The new project. Yeah. I did a video on my new project about the Scots in Ireland. So this is a unit for that, which is it's going to be sort of a peasant unit. I noticed when I took the picture, I thought, blimey, I went a bit crazy with the green. I didn't mean to, but there you go.
It's good. It sort of links them together. It gives it a nice focal point.
Well, they're Irish, so that's the whole idea.
It looked like robbing a shirt. You could use them for robbing a Sherwood.
Well, some of those figures are from that, so they're the Futsal or Robin Hoody ones mixed in with some of the Crusader ones. So yeah, just all sorts of peasants. Although I did notice after I'd painted them up, this figure in the middle. Does he remind you of anybody?
Looks like Brian Blessed.
It does a bit.
It's just Miller. It's just
Yeah,
Miller.
say that looks like
miniature.
Miller.
It's just Miller.
Yes, Miller.
Yeah, that's why I thought it just looks like Miller to me.
It's just Miller.
Yeah, that's Miller.
And he's also missing a burger as well. So there we go.
He is.
Yeah,
I can say it now. So Miller's other half, before Christmas, got in touch with me, basically say, is there anything she could get him, sort of miniature wise, something he hasn't got. So I basically sent her a link to something that I thought that he would like, which is essentially an army for by fire and sword, or a razor. Sorry,
love it.
Oh my word!
So I also did these two, which I put up on the Facebook.
Oh, I love these. These are brilliant, Dom. Besides the Facebook page, these are really, really good.
So yes, he's moved from Natal to Boxer Rebellion in China as a Bromhead. So there you go. I just found that figure and I was searching through boxes and I thought, right, I've got to do him.
Oh, so, yeah. Have you watched the Red Coat history video on him, where he actually goes and talks a bit more about Bromhead after the Zulu War?
That whole series he did about all the VC winners.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Absolutely, amazing.
It is. He actually said as well. It's a bit of a shame because he did the one on Henry Hook quite recently, and it didn't really do very, very by his channel standards, it didn't do very, very well at all. So he was considering sort of like stopping there, but I think enough people have said no, just carry on. It's probably just
just one of those things.
People just
the algorithm.
I thought it was awesome. Every one of those was really, really interesting.
We should maybe get him on the channel. He'd be a good person.
Wouldn't he be brilliant?
Yeah,
it'd be awesome.
That'd be good.
Oh, we should have done it because it was Rorke's Drift yesterday, wasn't it?
It was.
18th. No.
Yeah. 144 years ago.
Blimey. That's it. That's all I've done.
Oh, crikey.
Well, that was quite a bit.
Steve, I hope you've got a lot of content planned because we've done jack shit this week. So you need to...
I haven't, and all mine's weird shit. So I'm continuing my foray into 30k Horus Heresy Death Guard. So last week I showed you sort of the chaplain. I've been expanding since then. So I finished. So that was what I'd finished sort of by the middle of last week.
Yeah.
So that's the Praetor. The guy in the middle was a test for the actual Death Guard uniform, and then we've got the chaplain there with the big Crozies, the plasma pistol.
Which one's the Praetor? The guy in Terminator armor.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
The first time I actually painted that twice. Well, I didn't paint it twice. The first time I painted it, I didn't like it at all. Didn't like it at all. So I spent last Wednesday night just repainting it. That's why it looks like that now. So it's got more green on it than it previously did.
Oh, okay.
So then I started working on the actual. Now I was comfortable with the uniform and painting. So that's a bright color for me to paint. I don't normally paint anything as bright as that. So I finished the first three. So they've been the middle. The sorry,
I was gonna say you pin washing. Sorry, I should have let you finish. Sorry.
Yes, I'm not drowning the figure. It's more dry brushing than anything. But the guy in the middle and the guy in the missile launcher, that's kit back of bits from the Betrayal at Cal's box because they fit quite well actually. But getting that off-white color, it's a bit time consuming, but it's worth it. And there's the detail and the weathering on the backs of those.
Nice. I like that missile launcher, Steve.
Yeah, it fits. You don't get anything like that in the basic.
Is that sorry, mate. Yeah, go on.
You don't get any sort of additional weapons in the actual Legionaries box. So I thought I've got that Betrayal at Cal that I bought on a whim for no reason at all years ago. So I've been using the bits and pieces to see if I can, they work, and they do. So after that,
was that green the US Army green color for that missile launcher?
No, the green is it's Vallejo.
The launcher I'm talking.
Oh, sorry, the launcher is I can't remember. I think it might. Let's have a look. It might be to jog my memory. I've got an awful memory. Oh, it's not it. It's that's not it either. Where is it? No, I think that is. I think it's German field grey.
Oh, okay.
Then it had a quite heavy wash over it, and it was just dry brushed again with field grey and Iraqi sand.
Oh, nice.
So there's not that many colours on there. So then I started seeing if I could do more kit bashing. So this guy on the left with all the gubbins, his right arm is sort of, I've cut the hand away from his left hand's been cut away from where he was holding the bolter. So I carved that away and smoothed it flat. And then the power fist again is from the Betrayal at Calth box.
Yeah.
And the other guy's just as is, he's straight out of the box. And before I knew it, I'd actually finished at 5. I've actually got 5 done. So there we go. Nice. There's the 5 so far. Now that right there, that's a squad for Xenos Rampant.
Yeah.
5 in a squad. So,
but then your Praetor, sorry, but your Praetor could also be because it's all just squad. So your Praetor can just be one guy with 5. He's equal in strength to them. So you've got your Praetor who's essentially 5 wounds, and then you've got 5 guys who are 1 wound each.
Yes.
So you've got 2 things there like that, which is I really like that.
Cheers, Dan. So I'm going to be doing. I've not used field grey in a while, Benjamin. Tell you what, it's really weird painting something as light as that though, because I don't normally even venture into it. If it's not green or brown, I'm not interested. But that's quite a light colour. Like I say, it takes a while to get the actual bait. That colour to go on. It's about 4 or 5 really thin coats of army painted bone until it has this really nice smooth finish to it. But I've got the scheme nailed down now, so I think I might be able to fly through them quite fast. But that's all I've done. Again, just painting weird stuff. I never thought I'd be painting 30k. But yeah, it's I'm quite chuffed with those. I've got more to do.
I can't pretend to know anything about what you've just talked about for the last 10 minutes, but they did look very nice, Steve.
Thanks, Dom. They're Death Guard.
They're cool.
But I won't be building an entire Horus Heresy army because I'll go bankrupt. So I'm going to keep it quite small.
I'll do my 5 Blood Angels versus your 5 Heresy Marines. There you go. That'll do, won't it?
There we go. Job done. Who else we got here? Yorkshire Dragoon. It's been a shite week, so cheer him up.
Oh, poor old.
We can do that.
Ken's family tried to abandon him on Blackpool Beach, but like a bad penny, kind of rolled back to him. That's what we found out. Well, that's what I've taken away.
You'll probably hear about it at my wedding.
I'm definitely using that now. Why would I not bring that up? Oh, you're not letting me make a speech, are you?
No, you're doing actually. Oh yeah, while you're here, actually, just so I remind you, Laura said, because then it's on video. Then you can't deny that I've told him. Laura said you're doing a reading at the ceremony.
I'm doing a
poem. You're reading a poem.
Do I get to pick it?
No. It's about cats and flowers. That's what you're reading, apparently, and it's 3 pages long, so you better get memorizing.
3 pages.
Memorize. I ain't memorizing anything. I know the final 15 minutes to Return of the Jedi off by heart. Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi. I know that off by heart. Like the bit where the whole Vader's whole speech to Luke before Luke goes nuts and cuts his hand off. I know all of that.
Oh, that'll do. Do that bit. Yeah, do that bit.
Or alternatively, you could go for "There was a young man from Nantucket." I mean, I think that would be.
I'm down with doing the reading. Hang on, when we have readings, we let the people talk to them. Someone actually, Haley's maid of honor and a best friend. She said, she was basically comparing things that Haley was into to things that I was just like, who would have thought that heavy metal and people into take that would meet someone? And then she said something like, who would have thought that someone that did this and someone who likes Warhammer? I was like, hey. So, hang on.
There you go. Yeah. Tim's got you don't memorize a reading. There's a clue in the phrase.
That's a very good point. I like that. That's a very good point. I'm gonna hold on to that. No, I'll do a reading. I'm quite happy to reading. Can I paraphrase it and make anecdotes as I go through it?
Yeah, it's up to you.
Martin, is a suggestion from Steve.
What's that? And left at the
Ken
altar.
left at the altar.
He already knows. I've already told him that there's certain conditions under which I'm going to attend his wedding. I've already got like 6 friends. It won't matter to me if I lose one. So it's not.
Are we going back to the skinny fit suit here?
Yeah, he's still banging on about that. He's just not having it, is he? It's a tailor fit. You'll be fine.
Steve, are you hoping that there's alcohol involved through all this process? I hope there's.
Yeah, it's a brewery, so how can there not be?
What day of the week is your wedding against a Friday, isn't it?
Friday night, yeah.
All right, okay, so we're going to do the PCP on the Monday, and you're not.
You are.
There, right?
I'm not going to be there. I'm going to be in Corfu.
Well, unless it goes really badly for you, and then you will be here with us, won't you? Just maybe not in that house.
We might.
I'll just be crying in a corner somewhere. Yeah.
Are we going to live stream Martin reading his poem? That's up to Ken.
It is a possibility.
Can you send me said reading? I'm fine because you've told me I'm going to do it. I would like to see it.
Oh, of course, yeah. Yeah, it's not 3 pages long. Don't worry about it.
No, it's okay, Ken. I can cope with 3 pages. I'm not. It's not.
It is about
readings.
It's about cat.
Was it the owl and the pussycat went to see? Like what is?
I have no idea, but Laura hasn't sent it to me. But it's meant to be quite sweet. So there you go. You got to sound nurturing.
Well, I actually got to sound like I care about you.
Yeah, you have. Yeah.
I want Laura to have a good time.
On my brother's wedding day, I was his best man at his wedding, and I was a bit delicate during the ceremony because we'd been out the night before, and I had a bit too much to drink, followed by a massive breakfast, which I don't normally do. And I was stood up.
Steve, when you crack guns, if you don't.
I meant after a skinful like that. I was just I don't do food after.
No, he does it after prosecco. He does it after prosecco though.
True.
And to take my mind off feeling ill and potentially embarrassing myself in the church, I was just reciting the lyrics to "Angel of Death" by Slayer constantly over and over in my head just to keep me focused.
You didn't say out loud by mistake, did you?
No.
You didn't go for "God Hates Us All."
That would have been quite apt, actually.
I just love the idea of you mumbling in the church, something like that, and people around you just going, "What?
Yeah."
Going
to be fair, that was the most normal thing that happened to me that day. What happened? I had a bit too much to drink, and I was in his room getting changed out of my sort of suit into my normal clothes. Got confused and tried to leave the room through the wardrobe, like I was entering Narnia or something. Then I couldn't remember which floor I was on, or where the stairs had gone. So I just knocked on a random door, and when the guy opened it, I said, "Excuse me, can you tell me where the stairs have gone?" Then I tried to steal a vase, and then I was apparently trying to eat a bonsai tree as well.
A bonsai tree?
Yeah.
You were trying to eat a bonsai tree?
Yeah.
Someone probably nurtured that thing.
I know. A complete and utter total embarrassment to my family that day.
Oh my god, it's 104 days to my wedding. Holy shit, I didn't realise it was that close.
No, I've that was just a day and a half.
No words
anyway. Right, let's move on to the theme of tonight: solo wargaming.
Oh shit.
Do you think this really took off during lockdown? Do you think lockdown really sort of contributed towards solo wargaming?
Yeah, I reckon it made quite a considerable dent, to be honest with you. You really think about it, we didn't really have much bloody choice, did we? Well, I was doing, I was trying to do that tabletop simulator, but it's not just not the same, is it? Really?
And no, especially when you play your mate for 3.5 hours and you want to record it, and then because you lose, you mysteriously lose the video file.
Not that you're bitter about that, Martin.
No, it's not to this day. How many years ago was that now? 4? 3, 4 years ago?
I don't.
3 years
sure
ago.
now.
Yeah, free.
I remember. I played a game of bolt action. It was I think it was about 9 days before we all went into lockdown. And the next time I threw dice with an opponent was CrackCon. That's how long it went. So I was doing a lot of solo gaming during that time. Even just mostly bolt action and firefighting, because I think firefight really works well for a solo game because it's small figure count. It's quite fast paced, and I was going to say, and it's more you're not concerned about winning and losing because it's just you. What you're trying to do is just have a comic book narrative for firefighting. I've noticed on when you do your sort of big game solo games as well, it's more for the narrative side of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think solo's always been one of those quite active parts of the hobby, but a niche of a niche.
Yes,
isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's
some people like
certainly
just playing solo, don't they, Dom? Some people, really enjoy
I
it.
know, but some people love it. I mean, I know some people do it because they have no choice. There's nobody around them, and some people do it because they love it. I think lockdowns around the world certainly has boosted it. I hated playing solo up until actually videoing them. And like you say, the narrative element of it, I really enjoy doing. And it's sort of become...
Do you never feel biased, though? Do you never get biased?
Do you know, that was why I always hated playing it. Because when I used to be more of a competitive gamer, I couldn't help but try and favour one side or the other. So what I've learned now... I think now it depends on the system, doesn't it? I mean, some systems work beautifully. Sharp Practice is a really clever system for solo. It's ideal. And I know there's all these Dr. Babbage rules you can get in various various bits of rules and what have you. But I think, the narrative bit really helps. I think that if you've got a very clear objective of what you're trying to achieve, and I think it's definitely what will be interesting now. Lockdowns, touch wood, seem to have finished everywhere. Whether it will continue to see solo carrying on pretty well, or whether it will drop back down again to the niche again. I don't know.
I mean, I'm still doing it, aren't you?
I'm still doing it. I mean, I the last solo game I play tested that Space Weirdos the other weekend. And as a solo game, that works really well because again, it's 4 figures on each side. Yeah, they're all individual sort of characters, and it's more more the narrative you're creating because it's a really quick game. The games only last sort of 45 minutes to an hour, and there's not masses of things to move around. There's not much dice rolling. There's barely any charts to consult. It's quite fast paced, so you can really tell a comic book style sort of story while you're playing it, and the mindset I have from like especially something like Space Weirdos, when I was soloing that, I was just like, right, I want to make it as difficult as I can for every single figure on this board and try and give them something interesting to do, or have them go out in a blaze of glory, or just do just mad things, basically try and make it as entertaining as possible. Now, I think Space Weirdos, by the very mechanics, sort of lends itself to that type of game anyway. But it's the same with Firefight. When I first started soloing Firefight, I just thought of Commando comic books, and I wanted them to act in that way, sort of over the top, leaping over fences and firing Bren guns, and just make it as sort of entertaining for me as possible. But it's interesting. I think Robin just made a good point there as well. Where is it? Solo was always a thing, but done by certain people in certain ways. COVID meant that people who didn't want to game the normal solo system needed to be more accessible. I definitely agree with that.
I think that's very true.
And Alex as well. So any game with a random activation works perfectly well.
Yeah, it does.
Things like Sharp Practice and bolt action.
Very process driven. If Battle works quite well because you do everything on one side, then you turn over and do everything on the other side. So I know Alec doesn't like that kind of thing, but it does work quite well as a solo system. But I have to say, I find videoing has helped doing that.
Can I just send out a warning here to Battle Matt, stop it.
Oh no!
Sorry, Tom. You're saying so since you started recording the solo games.
Well, as I said before, I didn't like playing solo before. I just never really enjoyed it as a thing to do. But I found since I started to video them, I really enjoyed it. And I don't know whether that's just because I think, well, I can't cheat, can I? Because I'm videoing it and everyone go, you cheated. Well, I could anyway, because I could just replay a bit, couldn't I, if I wanted to? But it becomes almost like I'm telling, like I'm talking to somebody in the club when I'm doing it here in the room, so it makes it a lot easier to do. I don't know why, but yeah, I definitely enjoy it much more than I ever used to. Well, I didn't like it before.
Isn't an interesting one as well? I think this is quite a big one. Try out new rules.
Yes.
I think for me that would be one of the biggest ones, because if you're trying to get someone into a game, it'd be like you sort of need to know the rules before you invite anyone else to play it with you.
That would be a good idea, wouldn't it?
That will be a very, very good idea, because there's nothing worse than trying to start a new system and you both go, yeah, we don't know what we're doing. This is going to be a long afternoon, right?
Have you read the rules? No. Have I read the rules? No. Oh, sugar.
It's like that episode of Bottom where Eddie's trying to teach Richie how to play chess. It'd definitely be something like that.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, though. I mean, but then again, if you're anything like me, when you start reading a new rule set, you get 90% of it wrong anyway, and then you go down and play it with somebody else, and you start reading the rules and go, "Oh, actually, I got that wrong. Oh, I got that wrong. Oops, I got that wrong."
Well, that'd be wrong. Oh,
yeah. But I think it definitely helps.
It does help, especially with sort of complex games. I think there's to run through it a couple of times by yourself. I think that's how I learn games better that way. To sort of playing against a human opponent. If I solo them sort of 3, 4, 5 times, I get a grasp. That way, when I do start playing with somebody else, they ask me questions, sort of know what the mechanics are. But it's just a good way. I mean, like I mentioned before. Just put your coat inside out, Matt. No one will notice. Single player system control the enemy playing. Do you actually? That brings me on to another question. Do you think a lot of games these days are being developed with solo play in mind?
Board games, I would say so.
Board games, definitely, yes.
I'd say some war games are. For example, 0 to 100 hours. If the solo rule set, which everyone asked about when he released it, and especially after the game mechanics came out, because some people said, I would love this, to be solo. You got that. So the solo rules are actually now available for playtesting. So everyone's doing that in a minute. At the moment, just not on the main Facebook group. There's another group where he does like rules discussion. He's put those up for open playtesting. So I think certainly for the smaller system, or even not necessarily for smaller systems, but I think people are considering it a lot more. It's like when the Nevermind the Billhooks went up in the new edition of that. I kept on seeing comments about that saying, "Is this card-driven solo play, or is this it?" So it certainly seems to be a question that's coming up more.
Is it more socially acceptable to be solo playing now, do you think, then?
I think it is.
Just old weirdos that used to do it in their
What surprised me,
Alex, I'm looking at you, mate,
is the amount of YouTube channels out there just dedicated to solo wargaming. There's one I watch. It's called The Joy of Wargaming. And he does a lot of wargaming in 15mm. And he just sort of shrinks the battlefield. So he does. I've watched him play Xenos Rampant. What's that Osprey skirmish one?
Everyone.
Sorry. I missed out a pertinent word there. So
could you be more specific? Oh, Napoleonic.
Yeah.
Oh, Absolute Emperor or something like that. Is it? The 90
Chosen Men.
Chosen Men.
That's it. So yeah, he's played that as well, and he does a lot of just solo wargaming, all at 15mm, and loads of different systems.
It's good for you to learn as well, because it's just one person talking over rules, isn't it?
Yes,
that helps with people learning, especially if you're doing a video and stuff. If you're watching a video trying to follow along, you can understand what the person's thinking instead of going off on a tangent like we always do.
Yeah. No, I agree with that, Todd. Yeah, Joy of Wargaming is great. It's a great channel, and he just does really, really good battles, and he explains the rule. I mean, when I was getting to Xenos Rampant, I watched all of his Xenos Rampant content, and he explained the rules really well. And he's got such a great collection of really sort of eclectic looking figures as well. It just, and again, just solo gaming, but it's clear that he enjoys that, and he produces some great content.
That's a good question from Nathan here. It'd be interesting to know how many of us played solo games because we couldn't convince our partners to play.
I'll let you in something. I don't solo wargame at all.
I know you never do you?
Doesn't. No, and I don't have anything. It just doesn't hold any interest for me. It doesn't. And I have nothing against. And I enjoy watching videos. I enjoy watching your videos, Dom. I like watching Alex's. And I watch quite a lot of other people who do them, like when Batman runs through rules. And I mean, I've run through things like I haven't set up full games and played through them. I might have set up some combat examples and run through them and done that like on my desk here. But for me personally, it just doesn't. I like playing against an opponent, and I guess I'm lucky that I'm got quite a lot of people.
You've got a lot of people around you, haven't you?
There is. There's a lot of people around, and considering I don't do club play either, you know, I don't go and do club play. So when we're trying out a new rule set, for example, it's quite. I just get in touch with one of my friends and say, look, we've got this new rule set. You'll just come round and we'll figure it out. And I like getting a beer and sitting down and new round. That doesn't mean that I think that solo play is outdated. I think it's a brilliant option because when it comes to solo stuff, I prefer there's certain board games. So I'm going to bring board games into it. So I know Robin's in the chat. Gloomhaven.
What a board game.
I mean, what a board game. There's like, how many hours was it, Robin? Was it 200 hours of content that can be solo played in a campaign? Steve, this is what I know. So what it is, I love these because I'm a massive child. I love game books, old style fashioned game books. I mean, do you know what?
I'm gonna have to get one of these because I've just started proper reading now, and I'm actually enjoying it.
Well, I highly recommend this one. Steve, you know what this is, don't you?
What's it called?
Is it Lone Wolf?
This is the reprinted extended edition of Flight from the Dark, Lone Wolf, which is amazing. What I love about it is that there's two bookmarks. One so you can bookmark the page you were leaving, just in case
things go wrong.
but a fantastic book. But no, I enjoy doing things like this. So I guess I'm lucky. I mean, I do, like I said, I try out combat examples and things like that. But I've never had a war game against and played solo. I've never considered. I did think about doing it, and then I didn't, and somehow convinced my wife to play.
I am gonna have to shoot. Something's just come up. I've just had a message from Laura. I need to disappear.
All right.
I'll message you guys a bit later, but I shall let you know what's going on. All right.
Take care.
See you in a bit. All right. Yeah. So it's all right, but I've got to go. All right. Speak to you later. Bye.
Okay. You can.
Leslie says he agrees with you, Martin. He'd rather model and paint.
Yeah, I use but I find it. I don't. As you said, Thomas. Is it? Oh, we're swapping at the same time. Okay.
Who am I? Oh.
It's not because look at that. It's like we have the 3-person one just ready. It's not because I think it's sad or anything like that. I certainly don't. But for me personally, I see it as a extension of a social activity, and I really enjoy it with other people. So, I mean, that being said, there has been a couple of occasions where I got absolutely trounced at a game. I've come back and I've sat down with the rule book and some models to try to replicate said situation. That actually reminds me. Sorry, because it's about 0-200 hours and solo play. If you're still listening, Alex, I know you had some interest in that game, but I also know you like your Star Wars. And there's some awesome person on the 0-200 hours group who has made cards and stats for Star Wars characters, so you can play 0-200 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so people are doing like Star Wars Legion, where the stormtroopers are the ones patrolling around, and the rebels are trying to get in. To blow things up. So I just thought that was really, really cool. And also probably is going to cause some expense because I just really like the idea of that. But anyway, yes, sorry, that's a bit of a tangent. But again, Steve, you've got the Imperial Assault box. So if you just go and download that mod, obviously send you a rule. I've got a rule book you can have, and the stats are on there, and all you need is something for the rebels to blow up in the middle.
Yeah,
and some guys done it. Yeah, so the 0-200 for like the weekend, it was just loads of pictures of rebels fighting stormtroopers.
That sounds absolutely brilliant. I mean, again, it's things like that. Ugh, yeah, I definitely approve of that. Fantastic.
But I do get what you're saying though, Martin, about the kind of you like the company bit, and I mean that's one of the things I love about the hobby generally is that companionship and the fun and the banter around the table. But I say that's why I kind of almost find the talk when I'm doing a video, I almost feel like I'm talking to my mates when I'm doing it, even though they're not responding. So it's sort of that gives some degree of it. But I would always go for against a real opponent if I could. It's a choice.
I'm going to say, I suppose Ken's not here, so I think I've been very lucky in the people that I do my battle reports with and I play games with across it. I mean, we haven't actually done any of it. Like I've only played Ken on a battle report, haven't I? But
I killed you in a gunfight. Apart from that.
No. Me and Ken had a fight, and then you picked off the survivors. Is
best thing to do, really.
Is what I'll have.
That's got to be insensible.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Alex. Yes, it is. It's someone uploaded the cards into the file, so you just need the same rule book. It's just that they've uploaded the cards and that into the file system. But yeah, I just think I've been very lucky. So I would, because obviously we plan content. Or a little bit maybe, and you're like, I want to have a battle next week, and if someone couldn't make it, I think I'd probably postpone it over playing solo. Does that make sense?
Right.
It's not, and it's not because again, it's not because I think something against it. It's just that I prefer to wargame with other people. Otherwise, there's solo RPGs and game books and books and painting. It becomes an opportunity to deal with the mountain.
I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. Sorry.
I think the very first experience I had of solo wargaming was Advanced Hero Quest, where it had a solo option, and it was very much dungeon crawly. It was random generated. You used to roll to see what tiles were next, what rooms were next, what evil villains were in the rooms. So that was my first experience of solo play, and I did that to learn the rules for Advanced Hero Quest because I used to run sort of quests for my friends, and so that was for me getting used to the rules. But I'd still play that quite a lot.
Maybe I should give it a go. Maybe I should try to pick something and give it a go. I actually find the idea of doing a battle report solo quite daunting in a way because I guess I just haven't done it yet. So I just feel like I've got to think about everything rather than just my army. So
I think I've done one, and it was a couple of 3 years ago. I was supposed to be a campaign, and it all fell by the wayside. And I was doing a firefight campaign, and I filmed the first game, and I didn't think it was going to go anywhere, but it was right at the start of lockdown. And people enjoyed it, and I really did enjoy it, and it was just a good way of throwing some dice, and like I said before, creating those commando comic book moments, which for me, I try and do in bolt action. Sort of goes over into that. It's been a while since I did an actual big bolt action solo game. It's been a while since I did anything like that. I tried to stick with smaller games, so like Firefight, or like Space Weirdos is going to be absolutely excellent for solo play, and so Xenos Rampant as well. Oh, my mate that I normally game with is interested in Xenos Rampant as well, so hopefully it'll be
I thoroughly enjoyed that, and I couldn't make the game this week because we're at the hospital. But my buddies they used the Dust Tactics mechs, and so they had these big German mechs fighting against I can't even remember what the other thing was. I think it was zombies. But they had a thoroughly great time. They seem to be really, really enjoying it. I did just remind me, so I could actually do it because the one thing I meant to say that I got this week is I've been going through. I've been very kindly sent the new expansion for 0200, which is the Partisans. So that's going to be coming up. So I could do a little battle report. But see, the thing is I know that if I say that, Robin's gonna be like, "Can I just not come and play?"
Yeah, I think it is interesting. I mean, I think partly also I'm lucky because of the table behind me and all the thousands of figures. Part of me playing solos and say I think there was a lot during the lockdown as well. Was thinking, I've got all these figures, I've got this table space. Why not play? You know, it's silly. They're all sitting there in cabinets, and they only get out once a week if I'm lucky to play a game. And during COVID, nothing happened like that. So it's like, might as well get out and play with my toys. You know?
That's true. And would you say for solo? I don't know if it's Steve. Sorry, Alex. I keep on like referencing you in the chat. It's just because I know you do a lot of solo yourself. Do you? Because you can leave your stuff set up, can't you, Dom? And you could walk away and then come back and then carry on gaming the next day. Whereas I would very much have to get it done in an afternoon and get it over and done with. So I don't know if it's the same for you, Alex, or if would you say that's an advantage to solo wargaming in particular, where you're doing double the amount of stuff? Is it quicker? Do you find it quicker?
No, I wouldn't say it's any quicker because you're still playing the same system, right? So you're still in sharp practice, still turning the cards every time, the same as if it was a player. And in some ways, it's quicker because you can make that move quicker because sometimes your opponent dithers around or sometimes you dither around. But I don't know. Definitely being able to leave it up makes a big difference, particularly if you're going to do a big game.
I would pay to have something like. I mean, I'm so short on space. The idea of leaving up a game for 2 or 3 nights. I mean, I probably could, but my living room would just be unbearably cramped, so I don't bother. At least with a game like Space Weirdos, I can play that on my desk here because you only play it on a 2 foot by 2 foot mat. So there is loads of space for that. But anything bigger than that, no, it does involve quite a bit of interior reorganizing to get a table into the living room. But it's just, again, I just find it's an interesting way. And what I found as well is that there's a lot more technology now. So apps are being developed to allow solo game. I mean, I keep saying about Hero Quest. So Hasbro developed an app for solo play for Hero Quest. I've not played it yet, but it's meant to be really good. So you play against the app, and the app generates what's in the rooms and what villains. I think Jonas mentioned very, very early on as well that when he was playing X-Wing sort of first edition, it set out asteroids and practices flying because a big part of X-Wing is maneuvering and being able to judge where your ships are going to be using those turn templates. It's a skill, and I used to do the same. I used to set up some really, really quite complicated asteroid sort of formations and then try and navigate certain ships through using the turn templates. So it was a good way of doing that. I mean, whether that's solo wargaming or whether for me it was like training. It was training for a tournament or training for a game by getting those maneuvers sorted out.
I like to, because I suppose this is different now, and we're talking about something different. So I guess this is talking about downtime. That's where I like to work on rules and scenarios and things like that. So if I did get the opportunity, I guess that's what I would do with it. That being said, I suppose because obviously you guys know I'm working on rules and that, and I do quite a lot of. I've done a lot of solo play testing, but I haven't actually set up full battles because I figured that the best play testing was just to get people to play it and then sort of umpire it, which is what's been going on sort of the last few months. So again, I just tend to, multiple systems, because one of the most important things to me in a game is, well, there's two things. It's the command and control system, because there'll be one in it, whether that exists or it must exist on some level. Surely, I guess, in anything, because like, how do you order units, or do you even need to? And combat. So I will often just set up a couple of units and just go through a combat just to see how it works. But I think that might be the full extent of it.
Well, Matt's back when he played Warhammer. He set up his artillery and a bunch of targets in random places and just practiced.
No, I did that.
Yeah,
I did that because my main opponent, who I still play against, he's a handyman at a hotel. So he just looks at stuff, right, and goes, "Yeah, that's 37 inches," and every time. When they right, and to this day, he claims that no matter what rule set it is, you should still have to guess ranges. Well, of course you do, because you just had some kind of laser sight where he could get, yeah, that's exactly that. He doesn't care. Even in Black Powder, he was like, should we guess ranges? No.
Oh, dear.
There's North from Brushwork. So he spent the majority of his 40 years wargaming playing solo games. It's what you make it. Absolutely, I agree with that 1,000,000%. It is what you make it. And I've always, like I mentioned a bit earlier, I've always tried to. It's for me, it's learning the rules, but it's also the narrative side of it as well, which is why every game I look at starts to get smaller and smaller and smaller. I really am getting into these smaller skirmish style games. In fact, I was talking to a mate about this the other night, and that I think the biggest game I think I'll play is BattleTech, and I think anything above that is probably outside of my painting speed, size, and interest. Really, I really have taken on this sort of a real interest in the smaller scale, like Xenos Rampant, Space Weirdos, one-page rules, sort of the smaller scale that you can play on a smaller table. I mean, I think sometimes it's necessity. I mean, would I love to play a massive, great big 12x8 Black Powder game like Steve? Yeah, I probably would. It's never going to happen though, not unless I win the lottery. But I think it's just, again, it's necessity, and it at the end, like all aspects of the hobby, though, it is what you make it. You take from the hobby what you take from.
I can tell you a game that I would be interested in playing. Now, I believe you can play this solo, and that's is Rangers of Shadow Deep, which is this cross between a war game and an RPG where you have your Rangers and you go through scenarios. Now, I believe you can play that solo because the monsters or you're going through certain checkpoints and you just set things up. I think it'd be more fun, not more fun. I like arguing and banter and stuff with people, and I just get upset with myself and I don't know, just sit in a corner arguing with myself. But that's a game that I could see really working well, and I have seen a couple of reports online where it's just one person. Now they're using a couple of heroes or and they're playing through it, but it's thoroughly watchable. And I think that there seems to be more of those type of war games coming through. These kind of these narrative, very very small scale, narrative driven campaign system ones, which are adventure games. I mean, essentially you're just replacing the board from war game with a wargaming board and just putting objectives on there, but it is a way, and I don't see any reason that you couldn't change that to historicals and get some fun content out of it.
There is also a difference, isn't there, in solo? Well, games that have a solo system within them, so almost like an AI you'd have in a computer game, versus games like I mainly play, which are games that are designed really to be a two-player game, but they work quite well as a one-player. And I've never really done the full sort of AI version of a game solo. And I'm always intrigued how well they play. I know Men Who Will Be King, there's a system in there for controlling the pesky vermin that you're going to shoot down. And I've always thought, does that work very well? I don't know.
Isn't there a solo element to Silver Bayonet as well?
There is. Well, there can be. I think.
I don't know if it's an official one or if it's one that or it's an adaptation that someone's a bit like the Star Wars thing. I don't know if it's something that someone's done or they're working on it. But that would be something again I would find quite fun. You see the big black box up here behind me. That's Kingdom Death. I mean, you can play that solo in that game, but that's just punishment. You set up a game for an hour, and then it beats you in 10 minutes. And then you put it away.
That's like the Dark Souls game. I spent ages setting that up, knowing that within half an hour I'm going to have my arse handed to me on a plate because it's
Do you
just
find that a bit
difficult.
frustrating? That to me would just like, why?
No,
would I
because
bother buying the game.
I'm the world's worst Dark Souls video game player. I am so bad at those games. It's untrue. I should be on some kind of world record.
Yeah.
So I thought, right, it's the board game. I mean, the board game is don't get me wrong, it's a lovely board game, and it's all solo play. So you actually play against the cards. Everything's behavior driven or card driven.
Yeah,
it's just hard as nails. It really is.
Yeah.
And again, just like the video games, you died. You see that very many times when I play it anyway.
Interesting, isn't it? Cornwall said he's a solo gamer. He'll solo game once every month or so. It's a time to psych himself up to do it. And odd as it sounds, but when I do it, I actually find it incredibly fun. Coming from way feeling as good as playing at a club.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. If okay, so hypothetically, and this isn't because I think that I'm going to give I will give solo wargaming a go. I'll do something and film it. God knows what, but I'll do it. But would you, if you had would you favour one over the other? Like, for example, if you had a solo war game planned, and then one of your friends suddenly said, "I'm free." Would you keep the solo? Because you go, no, I'd just rather do it.
No, I'd have
or vice versa. Would you suddenly go, oh, do you know what? I'd just much rather have a go on my own.
I would definitely favour an opponent always.
Yeah, for me, as much as I like solo wargaming,
unless it's Ken coming around.
I don't think I would ever prioritize or choose solo over a friend coming around. I think for me, there's always that, like Dom mentions it all the time. There's the social aspect of it. I mean, that's real. For me, that's important. I mean, I could have music on, nice supply of Vimto, throwing some dice by myself. But I would much rather have like my gaming buddy round, just for the banter and the tales and the.
Have you seen this? Sorry, I think we could get multiple. Have you seen? Oh, it's gone. Someone's just said, Martin, read Lone Wolf to yourself and just film that. It'd just be me reading a book. Well, like Jack, if I get a big high back red leather chair and just sit in that with a whiskey, and it would just be go to everyone. Remember what page I was on. No, go back.
I love it.
Oh, that'd be quite.
No, I think if I definitely had the sort of people, if I had the people around me like you do, Martin, with all your mates that drop round to play and the ability to play anytime I wanted to, I would definitely have friends around and do it that way rather than the solo play.
It is fun, but I'm gonna have to. All right, I'll think of something. I'll think of a game. Maybe a game I haven't played before.
I don't force yourself to do it. There's no reason to do it.
No, I quite fancy it. I'm just staring at my rules, going, which one do I think would work? Anyway, because I think it'd have to be something small scale. Like I don't think I could set up the full Napoleon. I don't because again, I'd have to get it done.
I've got an idea, right? You've got that already made army, those 6mm samurai. Say what you do. Bear with me. What you do is
put them on a table and hit them, and then film it.
You get an opposing force for those.
Yeah, I like it
already.
I like it, Steve.
I'll have to track down who he sold them to. And then go through. By the way, if anyone would like a 6mm samurai force, I know where you can get one. I will almost pay people to take it off me now, rather than just sell. Did I tell you I found some unpainted ones? I found
oh no, you didn't. I thought you'd done them all.
Yeah, so did I. And then I found like a little sprue of what I think are like messengers or something. So I just looked at them and just binned them.
Anyway, I thought you were going to do Emu Wars, Steve.
Yes, I'll be honest. I lost them.
You lost them?
No, I found them again. I put them down.
Up the vacuum cleaner.
Those pesky emus, they run off. You put them down.
Because the daft thing is, literally, the box is like yay big. It's tiny, the box, and I put it down in my living room. I've got a section where all my Star Wars X-wing stuff goes, and for some reason I actually put it in there. I was on my desk for about a week, and I thought I've got to move this. And I've put it in there, and for months I was like, "Where's my Emu Wars gone?" I think I was still in a bit of a because the Emu Wars were delivered the same day I had my haircut last year, so I think I was still on a bit of an anesthetic thing from having a haircut. But no, they are definitely on my list of things to.
But that must work as a solo, doesn't it? Isn't it just hordes
I can,
of
yes, I can
coming at
imagine.
you?
Yeah, it's just quite a simple game. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, Axis and Aliens. Yeah, I've seen your channel quite a few times, mate. You do some excellent solo war games. Yes,
It does. Yeah.
You can have my Steve. No, Alex, what one set is more than enough for me. That's all you really need. I know it used to make me laugh that Andy and from Hobby Support Group used to play it in the pub.
Yes.
God,
I saw a picture of him in the PCP today. Was he wearing like a dice holster?
He was wearing like it was like a utility belt thing. It's for all his counters and his tokens and his dice.
Oh my goodness.
We have people at work like that who like keep their trowel and tape measure and everything like it. But it's not something I've ever done. But maybe that would be handy for wargaming.
Remember years ago there was that fad for people with mobile phones to hold them in like those gun holster things, to try and make themselves look a bit sort of Dirty Harry-esque. Whereas they just look like a massive tit instead, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, well, it's 9:15.
I think Louis Baby's on the other end of the scale. He says Solo balls him. He ends up hitting figures about the room with a cricket bat. Okay,
don't do that,
Louis Baby.
That's technically solo cricket then. I mean, you can't argue with that, can you? Do we have any news?
Yes. I know Dom does because what I do before I save my pictures now is I come on here, see what he's saved, and then go, right, Dom's already found this because
you can talk about them, mate. I see you got the Partisans, so that's fine. Sure, I'll hit this for you, shall I, Steve?
Oh yeah.
I'm going to swap the music out when Laura walks down the aisle.
Oh, that would be perfect, wouldn't it? I love it. Yeah, quite a bit of stuff I saw this week. Reconquer.
Oh God, he's been prolific.
Does this man not sleep? I mean, literally, does he not sleep?
He just loves it. He does. But the thing is, I still haven't worked out if this is his day job. I was chatting to him, and I can't work it out if this is his day job or he does something he does because it is a passion project for him. Because there's loads of different things he wants to do.
Oh yeah, the
battering ram is coming up next month. I haven't even done the siege yet, and then there's the crossbowmen, the Andalusian ones. I mean, like I was thinking that I could. Because he did the spearmen last month, so I was wondering if I could you know how I do bill and bow units. I was wondering
mix them in together.
Crossbow and spear, is that a thing? I don't know.
Not really. I mean, the Crusaders had front rank of spearmen and then crossbow behind.
But the thing is, I suppose in the games that we play, it just represents a massive troops, doesn't it? That's all it represents. It's a bit like it's the bill and bow in Hail Caesar. They don't represent there's one 10 bowmen and whatever, five billmen. It's just to represent a whole company of men, some armed with bill and some armed with bow. Could I get away with it? I guess they will. I don't know. We'll have to see. But yes, they look very nice. So I dare say I'll be getting hold of some of those.
Yeah, I'm trying to resist. I don't need them. Just don't need them. But they look so nice.
Here we go. Now him and Miller are going to start up now. Watch.
I was going to say,
my God,
I can imagine the vein going in Miller's head at the moment.
Paul's. These are continued show. He's continuing to show off some of these Kickstarter figures for the Arnhem project. That
when's it going on?
It should be next month, I believe. He said. So they're awesome. I just don't know what I'm going to use them for, but they're going to be bought. I'm sorry. Just that's it. Sorry. Empress also have got some nice. Empress do some really nice figures, don't they? They're just always churning out nice figures. These are Indian Mutiny.
Are they Paul Hicks as well?
I don't know that those ones are. Could be corrected on that, but I don't think these ones are. They're jolly nice, but they are.
Oh, lovely.
Assault Group's got a whole load of new figures for their is it Spanish Imperious and Dutch Imperious, that kind of thing. So those are Dutch, I believe. Those are Spanish. And some Demi Lancers. They got loads of that, loads of them. There's a whole range just come out. So check out the Assault Group if you're interested in that period. And then we talked about a couple of months ago, I think. Great Escapes doing their Norwegians.
Yeah.
So they're now available for sale. So you can buy them on their website and in the shows and whatnot. So 28mm metals. I'm still waiting for when they do them in the winter version because I quite fancy that. Again,
They will. They will.
Of course
they will. Yeah.
In fact, I think he already committed to it. I think I saw it.
I think he did too. Yeah, I think he did too. So really nice indeed. Now, I would ask you. I would actually say Victrix are probably doing some of the nicest models.
Yes.
Of anybody at the moment. I mean, there's some of the stuff they're producing is extraordinary. This is a new one coming out in 2 to 3 weeks, late Roman armored infantry, as it says there. But I'll just flick through them. There are so many variants that they give you with this. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And they're lovely. I mean, look at that. Beautiful figures.
I mean,
really
again, Duck. So see, I played Duck.
Look at that one. I want that one.
I should play. Yeah. Well, that bloody thing that I've printed for you should make something fairly similar. Sorry, print drink. But no, they are lovely. I could do Ducks solo.
There you go. Perfect.
Mind you, I have got a couple of opponents. I just need to then build a Saxon army. They are lovely. And
I like them.
Which really reminds me, Steve, you need to send me the dimensions of that field. And I can then tell you, or I could just send you the dimensions of the transfer, which would probably be easier.
I'll measure them. I'll measure them. I just keep them. I really do.
Awesome.
I really want to start painting those late Romans because I've never painted anything like that before in my life. So, but the change. Seeing late Romans, my God,
they do look very good. I think you'll enjoy them.
Kaiser said they're lovely models. I just can't get into the period. Romans lost all their distinctiveness and become chumps. You need to pay off their enemies rather than find them. Yes, that's why it's fun because they're chumps. That's it. That's
proper Romans. They're boring.
That's it. Mind you, what was there? There was I forgot. I was reading about a battle the other day that's from the just before the Western Empire declined, where they absolutely kicked the snot out of the Goths. Oh God. Anyway, yeah, that's the fun of it because they're on the back foot and crap.
I agree. And thanks to James for pointing out that the new Vallejo Express color range is now available in shops, so you can actually buy it, which looks interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm quite interested by this because it hopefully is better than the speed paints that reactivate and a lot cheaper than contrast paints. Let's hope. So I'm interested to see how they come out.
I'd be interested to see, and then it'll just be a case for me of when I run out of a color. If I I'll maybe pick it up in that instead and see how it goes. And just see what they're like. Hopefully, it'll be good.
Yeah.
Okay, over to you.
Okay, I don't have. Sorry, I'll just sort of flip up. So I got a couple of things. As long as StreamYard hasn't done its thing,
its usual thing.
Oh, guess what? Yes, it has. You would love to see Ducks play. So yeah, I know, but I need to paint up some Saxons really quickly. Unless I use my Anglo Danes and just proxy them in. I guess I can do that. Anyone got a Saxon or
I can send you some.
Painted.
Yeah, painted. Yeah, I remember some.
Okay. Right. Well, on to his. So, I've forgotten who's releasing these now. It's Plastic Soldier Company, who have got the Corvus Belly range of historicals. Did you know that? Because I didn't.
I didn't know that at all.
And here are some Marian late Republican Romans that they are releasing. So I thought Plastic Soldier Company were doing the because they're doing Mortem et Gloriam.
Mortem et Gloriam, yeah.
They released those army packs, but they seem to have acquired. Now, I don't know if it's just news to me or if I'm bullshitting. I apologize, but I saw this in the news, out and about on the web, and they seem to have the Corvus Belli metals. That people that I've seen in lots of things. I think Nick, Medieval Wargaming, he's got a lot of 100 Years War Corvus Belli stuff. I think they're cracking little sculpts. I really like them because this is I like the late Roman period. I like this period, the pre so just pre Empire, or not Empire, sorry, pre what am I looking for? What's the word? Imperial Rome, where it's still a republic. I like the republic.
Yeah, I agree.
So Caesar's period. So I thought they're quite cool. So they are sidecast, recast of someone else's metals. Yeah, but they still look nice.
They look nice. They really do.
And then my other thing was essentially just so obviously you saw got the Partisans are up now for pre-order, I believe, from Grave Now Games. They're coming out. I've been very lucky to send a preview, but here's some of them. So you've got a sniper and a radio man. What's quite nice with the Partisans because at CrackCon, Stuart used the Partisans with the vanilla kind of rules and stats that have been put up, and he got. No offense, Stu. Well, I know you'll watch this on the replay. He got decimated. There was no nuances to him. But if you notice that each of the Partisans on these cards have got own individual special rules, they're very, very tricky. Look, very little specialist ones, and I really like the sculpts. They're really nice. I'll be going through them in there. Plus, also the Jedburgh models are coming out at the same time separately. So these Partisans are soon to come out. Are really cool. I do like those. So lots of variation, which I like. And so they're going to be available soon. So go and check them out.
That's it. There's no pictures, but Ian at Flags of War did discuss the next expansion for Border Wars.
Oh yes,
which sounds really interesting. He's got a whole of new Reaver families coming down the line, but he also next up, I think there's an Irish faction coming, which will be interesting. So yeah, that's another one. Hopefully, we'll see some pictures at some point soon because I'm really enjoying that system. It's very good.
It does look really. I remember when I watched your unboxing video for the Kickstarter, Dom, and I was like, that looks really good. That looks really interesting, actually. And what I like about it is it's small figure number. You're not having to pay 40, 50, 60 figures to play a game.
Well, I played Jono on Friday down the club for the first time playing, with somebody else rather than just solo. And we played, how many figures? We had 8 figures aside, I think. And we played one of the scenarios, Foray. We've played it twice. And still had plenty of time in the evening for the club. It was great, really, really good, and it was good fun. And it's the first time I trounced him, second time he trounced me, so it was nice and even. There you go.
The thing is, my mate, he's from Reaver stock, so he's quite interested because my surname's a Highland surname, so he always calls me your Highland bunch or you Highland lot. So
love it.
So yeah, both from good Scottish families. But no, it does look really good. And again, it's I like the size of the game. I like that it's quite a unique period as well. And the figures look really fantastic. That thing, you know me and metals. I'm not really a metals fan, but they look good. They look really good.
They are some of the nicest metals you'll find. But also, if you don't want to or you can't afford to buy metals, sorry, Ian, but you can use, I would imagine, using the Wargames Atlantic Conquistadors would be perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's pretty similar looking, to be fair. Pretty similar looking. So you could do some of that.
What I like about that range for me, and though, is they're just, it's like we were talking about bloody miniatures being full of character. I think those figures for from Border Wars by Flags of War, they're just so full of character. They
are.
don't just look like generic gaming figures. They look like real characterful people, which really adds to a game.
Yeah.
So something I may.
Sorry, carry on. I interrupted. Sorry.
So I was going to say, something I may need to test my willpower against over the coming months.
Well, they are on discount at the moment. If you want to buy them
I know.
Get it in solo wargamer. Get it and do a solo on it. Can I answer an archaeology question that popped up before I forget about it? Because it's just because I know the answer. So Alex asked if I'm aware of any Roman dated churches in the UK because he can't think of any. Now I actually did a job down the road from one which was a Mithraeum. It's in Colchester. It's dated to the 4th century and it's a probable, because archaeologists will very, very rarely say it is, church and cemetery. And it was just outside the walled town. So it's 4th century because obviously that's when Constantine gave the sort of freedom for it to be worshipped. But yeah, there's one in Colchester. I think it was dug in the late 70s or early 80s. But yeah, I did a job not far down the road from that. Some poor person that wanted to build a garage and and then was very upset that he had an archaeological condition, and I had to explain. Yeah, so it started life as a Mithraean, and then it became Christian specific later, up to I think the occupation ended at sort of 390 or something like that. So it wasn't in use as a Mithraean then. I think it was that they put it down as a church. But that's as close as I can think. So yeah, check it out. Sorry.
A comment that I wanted to. This one from David. Hope you've seen on the chat, mate. I missed this before. Will I be doing a painting video? I had to paint the Rubicon Marines. Yes, and people are prodding me with sharp, pointy sticks to get this done because quite a lot of people have been asking me to do it. It is something I'm going to get round to. I'm not the best at painting tutorials because I dread painting live because I'm such a messy painter. So I'm trying to work out the best way to do it. But yes, a video about painting the US Marines will be on the channel at some point.
Oh, we're going to see those magic hands, Steve. Come on.
Magic dancing hands. No, I hate painting. I'm sorry, no, I hate painting live.
There's a shock announcement on the channel tonight.
Because
Steve hates painting.
I have a terrible painting technique, and nobody wants to see that on anywhere. So no, but yes, David, there will be a video. Speaking of Rubicon, I've still not really got to grips with that Huey yet.
Have you not?
No.
Oh, there's a surprise.
I've got the crew. I've got 3 crew all prepped and ready to do. In fact, somebody posted on the Bolt Action page the other day. They just put a picture of the Huey, and I think he said something like too many pieces and too many options. I thought, but that's Rubicon. They just make kits like that. They're great kits, great models. They really, really are.
To be honest, if you were stupid enough to buy a Huey helicopter with however many thousands of parts there are in it, and then you're surprised that there's thousands of parts in it, who's the fool? Really? That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think with even the name Rubicon, synonymous with high level detailed kits. Yeah. And it's not going to be something you're going to whack together in 3 hours. It's you're in it for the long haul. You're going to need an IV of coffee.
I sometimes watch these modelling channels where they're putting together these big complex models, and I think, oh, that looks really fun, and I sort of almost feel myself thinking, oh, I should have a go at that. Maybe it can't be that bad. Then I wake up, slap myself around the face, and don't be so stupid.
Yeah, whenever I watch any videos by Night Shift, some of the kits that he does, just
unbelievable,
phenomenally good. Work.
I am such awe of people who can do that, but I just don't have the patience. And Rubicon.
Will that include the Huey? At the rate I'm currently working through my Huey, Leslie, it may be done sort of October, November time, because I just got distracted by so many things. So I've got on the painting table, I've got the Horus Heresy stuff that I'm doing for Xenos Rampant. I'm painting up a bunch of random stuff for Space Weirdos. I'm still painting my Giant, which is slowly bearing some progress. I've even started working on 6mm Space Marine stuff again. Just for a bit
You're
of
really
nostalgia.
having a. Was it that first episode just nostalgia, and now you're just marine? You've got some kind of marine bug.
I will be honest. This year, I've definitely got my sort of sci-fi gaming mojo back. I'm reading more heresy books. I'm painting 30k Marines. I'm watching lore videos on YouTube. Bit of a strange turnaround. The only problem is it's affecting my bolt action output as well.
It's not like your bolt action output has been slim over the last few years, is it?
No. It's just I've slowed down a bit because I think sometimes you just need that change of pace, that palette cleanser. And these 30k Marines, and like I say, these are some of the nicest models I have ever put together and painted, because they're just top class sculpts. The detail, the way they go together. One thing, I know I've got a bit of a tangent, but the 30k Marines, some of them come with separate legs, the torso, and there's a little notch where they just go in, and it sticks. And it's just simple things like that make models work so easily. But yeah, that's why I'm blasting through them so quickly. Really enjoying them. But yeah, I won't be playing Horus Heresy. I'll be playing Xenos Rampant, because, like I said, I've not got enough spare kidneys or cash stuffed under my mattress to be able to afford an entire Horus Heresy army. In fact, I probably need to paint up 2, because I don't know anyone else that would play it with me. So, yeah, that's on the.
The more you two talk about Xenos Rampant, the more I think, oh, that sounds interesting. And again, I have to then slap myself around the face.
Martin, he'd enjoy it, wouldn't he?
I probably would.
Yeah,
I think you would, because I really like. I know it sounds silly, but I enjoy I like the way that units work. I think it's unusual for a sci-fi game, and I like that. And I like the way the abilities work and the customization. I mean, like Dom, you could use it. You could use Burrows and Badgers if you wanted, and play against his Marines. You know. It does look fun. I mean, I am tempted. I was like, again, sorry, I'm gonna have to drink. I've got the printer, so I did wonder. I was like, is it worth trying to find? I think I said last week, like some
STL somewhere,
or just some kind of really out there robot. And I was like, well, I've only got to print like 4 of them, and then I've got an army and play. But then I sit there and go, I do have sci-fi models already, so it's something that if I do, it'll be down the road, because I'll just use because I've got Death Guard from 40k Death Guard from. God, about 15 years ago, sitting down here in a box that I was going to either bin or sell. So,
but for my Xenos Rampant, I've got Imperial Guard, I've got my old Space Marines. It's weird because Alex has just put Star Wars Rampant. Absolutely, you could use Star Wars Legion.
My mate, that's what we did. My mate used his Rebels, and my to be fair, we could have used Stormtroopers, but my friend used the other friend used the ABC Warriors from Judge Dredd. So it was Rebels versus ABC Warriors.
It's just again, from Rob, he solo Xenos Rampant and used it for his Eastern Front Winter World War II. Yeah, because there's rules in there. There's army lists in there for World War Weird. So if you want to use your bolt action stuff or Conflict 47, absolutely.
I like it that there's rules in there for invisible trophy hunters.
Oh yes,
that's it. But Miller, for example, and so we chat. He's got the Alien versus Predator board game, so you could just have aliens flooding the board, and then just have the Predators and just hype them up and say, well, each one's worth 5. I really like the idea. I really do.
Yeah, no, I agree with Ken as well. The scope looks true for so many settings. Honestly, the lists that are in there, there's a load of thought gone into it. But the best thing about it is you can use just anything you want to fight. It's so good. So you can have like Martin said, Space Marines against Burrows and Badgers, or World War II bolt action up against aliens and predators. It's just such a really good way of using figures that you may not. I mean, these Horus Heresy Marines, I could have painted these and never done a thing with them. Just put them in a box, forgot about them. But I know with these, because I've not got that much to paint up.
Oh, that's fighting talk, Leslie. That's fighting.
Yeah, I just saw that. No, Leslie. I'm still on my turnip drive. I think it's the kind of thing where I can't do it all the time because the danger is it can become samey, and I never want Turnip to become samey. It's always something that I look forward to. I really look forward to building my my Turnip armies. In fact,
Turnip's never going to be samey, Steve.
In fact, over there in a box, I've got my new regiment. It's pretty much all built. I just can't find the correct size bases. Turnip rampant.
All you got to do is spin those two words round and you've got
rampant turnip. It sounds like a great IPA to me.
Rampant, yeah. There's something like you drink that as well. Bloody hell, jeez.
Even out around summers need to get in touch. I think
what you could follow that with that one I had the other night. It was called Glide. That was really quite nice, actually. That Glide. It really was.
I just found a rogue blue moon kicking around in the fridge.
Ah,
dear.
Isn't Blue Moon? You're supposed to put a slice of orange with that, aren't you?
Yeah, but I'm not a heathen. I'm not going to put fruit in my beer.
Yeah.
Really? Whenever I've had Blue Moon, I tell them not to do it. I tell them not to do it. It's like when you used to buy like Corona back when before the company went bust because it had the same unfortunate name. Well, I think it's around, and they go to put a lime in it, and I basically try and stop them doing it. They're like, no, really?
No, I don't want lime in my beer. I don't want fruit in my beer.
I don't mind lime and a Corona, but yeah, Blue Moon. Whatever. There's a place over the village over the bridge. And they do, yeah. When you get Blue Moon there, you get a slice of orange in it. Yes, John, it did.
Sorry, that was me jumping in.
The glides, yeah, it did. It was quite. Like I said, it was quite on the tart side. It was very, very a bit bitter, but very nice either way for a 7.2% IPA anyway. Blue Moon, I thought you had 15mm figure.
I do have some of those somewhere.
That doesn't surprise me. Right, do you think it's time to have a look at some figures that people have been painting?
Yeah, let's do that.
There's been a stellar amount again this week. Just the stuff people have been painting. I just found a picture that someone.
Bless you. Oh, this was our Australian friends. You can tell.
I was going to say, is this from Australia or what?
It is.
So this is was it Richard
CanCon in Canberra, wasn't it? Yeah. So bolt action tournament.
Did you deliberately put it upside down because they're
No, that's just the way they are because they're on the other side of the world. Oh no, I didn't deliberately do
it. Me. I think you've killed Martin.
It's childish humour, I know, but it just had to be done.
The flat earthers won't agree with you either. But,
you're going to upset two people who agree with you. That was awesome. That was awesome to see. The photos that were going on.
Yes, look like an awesome fantastic tournament. That's what you want to see, though, isn't it? You want to see stuff, especially BattleTech as well. I think they make for really good tournaments.
Yeah.
Right.
John, have you seen this before you start? John has said, is it reaching a point where we need a curated beer list to go to Spotify playlists? Yes, and I think we all need like a veto on it. But mind you, Steve's ratio of weird beers to our vetoes, he'd definitely find something. It'd be like when they're choosing a pope. You know, they've got the white.
I just seem to be able to find these ones weekly. Do you know what one I've never been able to find since? Do you remember the one that Alex told me about, the jam roly poly one? The
yes.
One?
Oh yeah, no.
I only had that twice, and I can't find it anywhere now.
Do you find it? Sorry, again, tangent. Do you find it on the home shopping, or are you actually in a shop? Because you don't. I don't go into shops. I do online shopping. Me mixed with people? What? No. See, we've got a weird beer shop in Bury St Edmunds where my office is in, and they've now opened a weird beer bar, and it does Belgian beers as well. And you can just go in there with any container and like fill it up, and then they charge you by the liter, basically. So I'll have to send you a picture.
You have to challenge him to something.
Nah, I find on my weird ones just online shopping.
I found myself going into supermarkets now and then going into the sections of the beers that I never normally go to, just to look to see what the Steam beer might be. And then occasionally I even buy one or two. It's just like, what the hell is going on?
It has an effect on you because my daughter has started eating couscous, right? And I'm just looking at it going, how the fuck did he base something with this? I
think that was Blue Peter level of creativity using. I'd never have thought of using couscous at all. But I might do a curated beer list for the Spotify playlist. So yeah, with the playlist, I did put another link to it in the Facebook group. If you've got any suggestions, just pop them in and I will add them. Quite possibly the most eclectic playlist I've ever listened to.
It's not quite possibly, it is.
Yes. But it goes to the most eclectic group of people.
Exactly. Now, the Saturday afternoon, I was just sat there painting. I listened to, I think it was Willie Nelson, and then it was Cannibal Corpse, and who was after that? And then Johnny Cash, and then something else. Faith No More. It was Faith No More. I thought you wouldn't get that on any compilation CD anywhere. So
no radio station. There you go. We're attacking it from multiple angles. We're going for the music vibe. We'll get the beer list in there.
Yes,
we got the event, and then maybe next time we go to a Tiger Bar in Leicester, we could just ask them to play the playlist.
Oh God, could you imagine? Well, that DJ wouldn't play anything anyway, would he?
No, he wouldn't. That woman said to me, "There's no use queuing up, lovey. He never plays anything you ask for anyway, so don't bother." And then I was thinking,
he looked really offended when I asked him for Holy Diver. He looked really, but I was very drunk when I asked him.
Right. So I mentioned Benjamin earlier, and
oh my goodness,
the utter madness that he is pursuing. Right. So,
but can we just say to everyone, if you haven't seen this already,
yes,
come over to the Facebook group, right? But now, God, just put it up. Just Jesus.
So this is Benjamin's 1066 Cavalry. Look at those!
Unbelievable. That is a lot of horse flesh.
That's a lot of horses there, Benjamin. And I actually think when it comes to Benjamin is the batch painting king, isn't he? He just he can batch paint like no other. I think. Do you think he just goes into like a Zen trance when he's doing it?
It does concern me slightly. The things that clearly he's willing to put himself through to achieve a goal does start getting into the realms of of warrior. I don't know if he's on a watch list or something, but yeah they are. What I love about that is I love the command base, and you've got like Odo out the front with the club, and then you can see William in there as well, and it's just awesome.
And do you know what? It's not only the number, but it's the quality as well. The fact that he can maintain that level of quality over that many figures when batch painting, just completely stunning.
And they're all hand painted shields as well.
Yes, that again is just
because I was there's a little chat group, a bit like you see, there's a little chat group from us over here in the East, and I was moaning like buggery over the weekend about water slide transfers just because I've been using them, and I know I like them for vehicles, but for shields I just prefer the little big men ones. Just there we go, they're done. And I was moaning like anything, and then obviously I go on the group and I look at Benjamin. It's like, oh, I'm gonna be quiet now. He hand paints everything. But Stu, absolutely awesome work.
Yeah,
beautiful work.
So much. And we have Bill. Now, Bill was playing Lion Rampant last week, and this is one of the nicest setups I've seen in a long time. Look at that!
I love it.
I
can I just say, I love the models down the front, but I did spend most of my time looking at the awesome board. It just looks. I just want to play on that board. But I want to play. I mean, Lion Rampant. I want to play muskets and tomahawks on that. I really, really want.
The only question I have is how many figures does he lose every time he plays it? Because I lose them in just a little forest, but that lot, geez, I mean, it's just amazing. Like you say, that is crying out for a muskets and tomahawks game. Absolutely.
That right there is ambitions in it. Everyone needs a table like that. Just so.
Well, everyone needs a table like that, or everyone needs a friend with a table like that, so it's not around your house having to store it.
Well, yes.
Reflock the trees.
True.
for me, it'd be: do you want to sit down and watch some telly, or do you want to have your living room looking like a forest? Yes. Up next, mentioned him earlier, Drew. Drew's been back to painting some Natal cavalry.
No, you see, it's his fault that I have Zulus in the first place, because obviously for obvious reasons, he's
yes,
a little bit of a break. However, now he's back to doing it. It's going to take because I'm painting more Zulus now at the minute. I'm actually doing the Empress command, but those are lovely. I really like. He said he was going to do them and mix them with some native Natal contingent, and then have Durnford in there as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes.
They are just the Christmas and the whites as well. Inspiring stuff, Drew. Inspiring stuff. Now, I've been berating him all night. I've been berating him for the past week or so, actually, for making me look at something that I'm trying to avoid.
Is this young Matthew? Yes.
Yes. What is mech from House Kurita?
It does look. I'm just thinking about the game.
Yes, Dom, have you ever played BattleTech?
No.
Right. I thought it might have been something. Well, you might have had an aberration one time and sort of veered into it.
I did very nearly get. There was an online version of something like that, which looked really quite interesting. Then I again slapped myself around the face and went and did something else. But yeah,
I always used to get confused between this and Mech Warrior when it came to the games. I used to just get really confused between the two of them. But
yes.
But like I said, he's putting it up, and I'm avoiding his posts as well. Let me put it that way.
Oh, I am, because the starter box that he posted up, for what you get in that for the price, it's a fantastic starter box.
But presumably you don't need many, do you? I wouldn't have thought.
No, I think so. I read one of the reviews, and it basically said you can play most of your games with just what you get in the starter box, just the mech you get in there. You get I think two-sided mats. You get the rules. You even get some BattleTech fiction as well. It just looks.
You should get it and do a solo battle report. Maybe we should just start a thing for solo. But everyone starts these wargaming challenges, don't they? You know, do a command base, do a solo report. There you go. If you don't do one already.
When would have been the early 90s, mid 90s, I played a lot of BattleTech, and I never owned any of the figures. It was always people from our group that brought them, and we all just used to control one or two each. So I've never painted any mechs at all. So it'd be something new for me, but I just have really great memories of spending ages and ages playing it at the club. But I am trying to avoid that. So cheers, Matt. Now I keep posting it up, mate. Really, really pleased to. Jim's been painting again. Check this out. It's a goth rocker.
Oh my goodness!
I do like that. That is very, very cool. I like it that they are still releasing these kind of quirky things every now and then. It reminds me that I do like the squig amplifier.
I never noticed that. That's excellent. Cool. No, that is really good, and that's such an old iconic thing, isn't it? With the goth rockers, they were, going right back to sort of really early lore as well.
You've triggered Robin.
I was just about to point that one out. That's brilliant. Absolutely right, Robin. That's my ethos right there.
So that was Jim. Who else we got? Let's have a look. Oh, Nathan. Dom, some more weird shit for you, mate. So Nathan's been painting a great unclean one.
Oh my god, that is weird shit.
It is, but again, does look like something we saw in Derby.
I'm sure we saw her dancing.
I remember back in the day the really, really early Great Unclean models, and they were good, but the modern ones, they're just so good.
I know he's meant to be quite jolly, like Nurgle, but he was always just a bit too jolly. I like these ones that are a bit more rotty.
Yes, these ones have got a slightly more Nurgle-esque vibe to them, if we can put it like that.
What do you reckon, Dom? Do you think he epitomizes the?
I was just about to say to whoever it was said earlier on, they're talking another language again. They're talking another language again. I have no idea. No idea.
Well, this one might be a bit more up your historical street, Dom. Here's some Irish handgunners from Paul.
Oh,
yes.
Very good, very good. Very good.
That's more like it, isn't it?
Yeah, we like that. Much
No, I love. I do like those. Have I done rules for the hang? I can't remember if I did rules for the
You
Irish
did.
hang.
I think there are some.
I
No, they're within the Irish units, I think.
Oh, that was it. Yeah, I sort of mixed them in, didn't I? So you've
did.
got the Irish. You've got Yes, I did. Okay, cool. As long as I didn't forget them.
I do like them. They are very, very nice. Sticking with a bit more historical, we've got some Athenians from Nick. These are lovely. Look at these.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Nice.
Definitely moist.
Lovely stuff.
Wow. Very, very cool.
Now they're nice. What manufacturer are they? I have got no idea.
I don't know if are they
I want to say they're Victrix, but I don't think they are yet.
They are.
Because I don't think they've done them yet, have they? I don't know. Really don't know. They look too good to be Warlord ones. The Warlord ones are a bit dated.
No, they're nice. Top stuff. Cheers, posting those, Nick. Fast forward into World War II now with Paul and some Blitzkrieg Germans. I love these. Look at those.
They are Victrix, apparently.
Everyone says it's
Are
Victrix. They have that look about them as Victrix. So okay, good.
So here's some early war Blitzkrieg Germans from Paul. Just look at those.
Wow, very nice.
And like I say, even though that's a fairly old kit by Warlord, it's still a very nice kit. I do enjoy painting those early war Germans. And Paul's done an absolutely stellar job on those.
They do look sweet.
Brilliant
Very good.
stuff.
Very good indeed.
Staying with World War II, but going slightly smaller scale. So Phil's been painting some 15mm Shermans.
Oh, nice.
Oh wow.
Nice. I think he lost his decals. That's why they sort of held up production. Hope you found some, Phil. You've ordered some. So always a pain in the arse when that happens, and when you lose something like that. You need to finish off a model, and they just vanish into the ether. Very, very annoying.
I do it shield transfers all the time. I put them somewhere, and I think, and then you can't find them when you need them.
I've got right. So I've got one little box that all of my transfers go into. So I'm like, yes, I know where they are, but also my eggs are in bum basket. So if they're...
exactly the same, Martin. But now I have a little couple of trays there behind me, because I did exactly that. I put them in one box, and then I've no idea where I put that box. But now they're sort of right behind me, so I can't fail to lose them.
I keep all my decals are in one big bag over there. It doesn't matter what period or what miniatures they're from, they all go in this one bag, so I know where they are. I'm fed up of losing things like my Emu Wars. I'll have to dig those out, actually. This one from Stephen. Now, Stephen doesn't normally do anything. I think he said before 1500, but he's branched out by painting a red coat. Look at that.
Oh, wow. That's a really nice job.
It is.
I like that. I like the muted tones on that. That's really nice.
Yes. Do you know what it looks like? That actually looks like a painting.
Yes, it does.
Oh, I really like that.
Yeah, really nice.
I like the wood grain on the rifle as well. That's quite nice as well. Lovely stuff, Stephen. Fantastic. This one, someone will have to explain this to me because I've got no idea what it is. It's Lord of the Rings related. I think is it someone called Eoma? I don't know.
That's Eomer. You like Lord of the Rings, don't you?
No.
What?
I mean, I don't dislike them. I just don't.
Have you seen the
yeah, I've seen that. I watched the first three, but I've never seen any other ones.
Yeah, that's Eomer. So I'm a bit taken aback by that. I don't really know what to say.
So tonight you said you haven't watched Top Gun. You haven't watched whatever.
Doesn't like Back to the Future.
Doesn't like Back to the Future. And you don't like Lord Steve. What's going on?
You're going to really upset Ken. You are really going to upset Ken.
I should point to these have been painted by Tony.
These are lovely.
Cracking paint job.
Very nicely done.
I when you compare it, I mean that sculpt, I've got that one as well. It is a lovely kit. I really do like those character kits that they did for each, especially because you get them mounted and dismounted, and there are a lot of options to helmeted, unhelmeted, different weapon options as well. Steve, I can't believe you don't like Lord of the Rings.
No, it's a when I was a kid, I first read Lord of the Rings the books when I was about 10. My old teacher and later headmistress really got me into. She's the reason why I write, because she always used to encourage my writing, and she got me to read Lord of the Rings. And I love Lord of the Rings, the books. I used to read them as a kid, and then the films came out. Sort of, what was it, 2001? I had them all on DVD. And I've not read a Lord of the Rings book since I was a kid. It's got to be over 30 35 years.
But I don't really know what to say. I'm shocked as well. Like Stuart, when he watches his back, because obviously,
oh yeah,
he's like, so what? I mean, okay.
I mean, with the Lord of the Rings films, to quote Lister from Red Dwarf, I was ungripped. They just didn't do anything for me. They just did not do anything for me at all.
I found that extraordinary. It was one of those films I went to see, and I thought, "Oh my goodness, this is just fantastic, amazing film."
No, just
come up in the last like 3.5 years.
In fact, I lent the trilogy to someone, and I don't know who I lent it to because they've gone, and I've got no recollection of lending them to anyone. So someone's got them. I just don't know who, and I don't miss them. I mean, normally if I lend you a DVD and it's not back, I'll send out winged monkeys with chainsaws to hunt you down and bring my DVDs back. But with these, I just thought, they're gone. I'm never going to watch them again. So what's the point? And last but not least, because his name begins with W, is Warren. Look at these 20 mil US infantry. Oh,
very nice.
They are cracking. I mean, just the tones on the uniform look stunning. They really do. I mean, he is a cracking painter.
He can make 20 mil look like 28 mil. That's how well he paints. Because they could easily be a sort of these are up close, those are far away. These are a Father Ted sort of situation. But they're like they look 28 mil.
Yeah,
there we go. So thanks for everyone that's posting in the Facebook group. If you're not a member, do womble across, answer Dom's questions 3. And just post up what you're working on, what you're playing, what weird beers you're drinking. That seems to be a thing.
No. That's always good. And also, if you're playing games, take pictures of your games.
Yeah.
Battle reports. Pop those up. We don't just pop up the pictures of the painted models. If you're having a battle, if you're putting that up, whack that up as well. So we like to see what people are playing, and it sometimes as well gives people an idea because they want to see games in progress. And we've had quite a big intake recently, and we had someone just pop up a question regarding land snacks. And so if you've got any question, I mean, we are, as we said earlier, we are quite an eclectic bunch. So if you have got a question about any type of period, chances are that there's going to be some people in the group who either are or consider themselves to be experts. So they will be able to help you out. But no, seriously, it's
and please, there's never a daft question apart from what beer is Steve drinking. That's a daft question.
Steve doesn't like Lord of the Rings and eats salad. The man is full of surprises.
I don't even know who he is anymore. Like, I mean, Ken is going to be upset. I'm looking forward to this, but he won't be watching and he won't rewatch this.
No, he won't.
So we'll drop that bombshell next week, which will be wargaming regrets. And I think yours should be, Steve, not getting into Lord of the Rings because I don't like it. And then we'll see how he takes that.
I don't know. It's just something that I know you guys have talked about it. Over my head, I've forgotten most of it.
What I love though is that we've talked about it for 3.5 years. And you've never said anything.
You've never mentioned you didn't like it.
It's like on Family Guy where Lois won't admit she doesn't like Kiss. She kept that quiet for years. So I'm with
the Kiss thing is fair enough. That's fair enough.
It's John. So thanks for the answer for his landscape question. I now have 3 books and 2 boxes of models winging their way to me.
No,
that is the way.
I have to ask. That is the way. So
enjoy
the podcast.
Enjoy.
The one thing I have to ask John though is because he said he hadn't really got into historical gaming before. Why land snakes? I mean, just extraordinary. If you're going to make it's a lovely army, but blimey, there's some very complicated things.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, cod pieces. I mean, cod pieces.
True, there is
cod
that.
pieces, but then Landschnecks as well. I know what you're saying, but also, I'm going to get shot down in flames for saying this. I think because I've painted 15mm Landschnecks. Remember, that's my Believe Me Miz.
Yeah.
I found them quite forgiving on the painting because I could just pick random colours and slap them on them to make.
Well, there is that.
Patterns.
There is that.
Because apart from it, obviously, if you've got things and you're representing certain city-states or the Black Band or whatever, but I just basically picked out green. So I go green. I was like, right, this guy's going to have a green sleeve. That one's going to have a green leg. That one's going to have a green hat. Right, next colour, red. And just I went down the line like that. So I whipped through them really fast. So in a way, I can see if they're here you go, colourful pajamas.
Yeah. John, if you're painting your Landschnecks, I would check out Leon T66 Wargaming. He's got a fantastic series on painting Landschnecks because he painted the entire starter box. It almost like finished him, but it's a brilliant series, and it's just the quality that he did. I got so when I was painting mine, I watched several of Leon's videos, so yeah, definitely an option for you. Right, it's 10:05. We're into overtime, and I need more coffee.
Is it really? Oh God,
it is.
Bloody hell.
So, big thank you to everyone for showing up and participating in the chat. We've had a bit of an eclectic chat tonight, and we've also uncovered some rather dark discoveries about me, which I'm not too proud of.
Yeah, it's been a night of revelation. It's almost like this should have been the series finale, or it's like the penultimate episode where it's like, no, it wasn't that person that you were thinking about.
No, we won't be ending the show on the word penis neither. Right. So next week we will be over on Martin's channel, Seven Son, and you said it was Wargaming Regrets.
It's Wargaming Regrets, but that's not necessarily like I regret spending money for that. Is there a game that you wish you gotten into like when it first came out, or is there sort of like a facet of wargaming? Do you regret Brian? I'm just curious. It's going to be lighthearted, all right.
Yes.
I'm not going to be looking. It's not going to be like me going, I regret joining this podcast, or anything like that. So we'll keep it lighthearted. I'm just interested to hear: is there game systems that people wish they got into and now feel that those systems are so far along, or have been so many updates, for example, 40K or something like that? Is it something so far along now you just don't feel like that you can get into it? I'd just like to know. And we'll have the normal mix of frivolity and pictures and random crap, I'm sure.
Exactly. Best way to sum it up. So, again, big thank you to everyone that's watching. Big thanks to everyone that's watching it on the catch-up. Don't forget to drop a like on the podcast because it does help us. And links to all our channels are in the description below if you want to go and check those out. And we will see you all next week. Have a great week. See you soon.
Take care.